All right, so it's starting to sprinkle here. We are rolling out, trying to stay ahead of this thing, and continuing after our little rest stop.
Hit the fish camp, go have some lunch, wait out the rain.
This is why we've been seizing the moment to ride when we can, because Florida for the last like 3-4 weeks has been nothing but this.
Non-stop.
No.
So, talking back about bikes, or back to talking about bikes rather, I think we got a pretty good plan with your Dyna. I think it'd be cool to, like, you know, ask your viewers what type of stuff do they want to see? What are the things that they want to do to their bikes that maybe, you know, maybe we can cover some of that stuff in the footage that we're gonna create for working on your bike.
Yeah, careful, man. It's a loaded gun. T-bars.
T-bars. All the T-bars.
So lots of them are gonna say T-bars.
Oh, dude. Actually, I think if we keep heading this way, we're gonna get out of it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It looks like it's drier up ahead. I mean, I'm soaked. My clothes are coming off in a minute. Hope viewers, I hope you don't mind.
Just got X-rated.
That's right, just got X-rated.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, we got a pretty good idea. I mean, you being having that creative eye and, you know, combining when our powers combine.
Absolutely.
I think we can do something cool, man. So you viewers out there, like Jason was saying, what is something that you guys would possibly want to see from a Dyna that's not typical, you know, that you don't see all over the place, that we could possibly do? What direction would you want to see it go, kind of thing? There's a guy that I follow. He's I want to say the owner of Rough Crafts, Winston.
Oh yeah, Winston.
Yeah, Winston.
Yep.
And dude, his stuff is just always top notch.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely a builder that I look up to a lot, because he goes the complete other direction that people would expect him to. Yeah. And it's like his bikes is like, holy shit, like that's a Dyna, like it's just crazy. So I wanna tap into that. Yeah, for sure. I want to go in that direction. Finishes,
man. Like, you know, people underestimate how much you can make a bike stand out just with different finishes and textures. You know, paint is not the only thing that you can do to create, you know, levels of depth on your bike.
Yeah.
You know, mixing different types of matte finishes and, you know, chrome finishes, and, you know, I mean, everything has a place in the right amount of usage, you know?
Right.
Dude, look at Chris's hair.
Chris is wet.
Oh, dude, he's got that fucking mullet.
Hey, man, props to these guys coming along for the ride.
Dude, that's right. Making it happen.
They the real MVPs.
That's right.
Yeah, essentially, that's how it works in Florida. It's like heavy rain 1 second, just enough to soak you and get really humid, and then a little bit patches of blue sky.
But some days it comes at just the right time, dude, because look, like we were all really hot.
True that.
Now we're cooled off, we're gonna ride, and it's like air conditioning.
Yeah, it's like having your own like mister.
Dude, so funny story, I left 2 weekends ago. I rode up to St. Augustine and the weather was beautiful. I left. On the way back, I got caught in the middle of a torrential downpour, and I'm almost out of gas. I make a decision to go like a certain route because I knew where I could get to a gas station. Well, then the bike, it goes from like 47 miles to empty to just low fuel, and I'm like, oh God. And
panic
so then my mind is like, well, do I have 47 miles? Do I have 36 miles? Like, am I on the gas? Am I off the gas? So I was like, screw this. Got on my phone, found a shortcut. Yes, saved like 7 miles.
Nice. Man.
Well, the shortcut entrance was past the point of no return. No big deal. Until I get to the shortcut, and it's a dirt road. It was like
Which takes more gas.
Oh, dude, it was like a 5-mile dirt farm road. It's pouring rain. Like, I'm like riding the Chief
So
through
it was a mud road. Yeah, it was a mud road then.
Oh, dude, it was so nasty. I almost ate it. I'll admit to crashing all the time. It doesn't bother me.
I think you even have a picture of you crashing pretty nasty too.
I do. That was a funny story. Totally destroyed a brand new BMW R9T Scrambler on a press ride.
Whoops.
Yard sailed it, sent it into the woods, caught on fire. It was amazing.
What?
Oh yeah,
dude.
So good, so good. And they gave me another one to ride.
Like, thanks, Beamer. Appreciate it.
I mean, it went like, well, okay, so let me say this. It went from like it happening to them being very upset to when the post went viral and had like 8 million views in 24 hours that they were like, hey, here's another bike. Do you think you could like, come to... Yeah. But look at that, dude. It's perfect. It's sunny. We're good. Look at this.
It's a funny thing about motorcycle wreck videos.
Yeah.
Especially like when it comes to YouTube, people love them.
Oh, they do.
As long as you're okay. But even if you're not okay, they still love them.
Yeah. Did you see the one in California? I can't think of the dude's name. He totally jumped that Dyna in front of the house.
Yes.
Oh my
insane,
God.
Man. Like way overshot the landing ramp.
Dude, super nuts. Like, I know, I don't know him, but I know a couple people that know him, and like that dude apparently is just, he is on another level.
That was wild. Yeah, as soon as I saw the thumbnail of it, it just shows him way in the air, and I'm like, damn.
That's not
And then
good.
you watch the video, and when he comes down, it's just like slam. But yeah, like I'm surprised he didn't hurt himself. Like,
oh, dude,
he bounced, dude. He bounced hard.
Yeah, that was a gnarly one for sure.
Yeah, we ain't building stunt bikes, not yet.
Yeah, right, totally. We're going in July. I'm super stoked. We're headed out to Vegas to do the Travis Pastrana Nitro Circus Evel Knievel jumps.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun trip. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, once I saw that that whole press release or the marketing that they're doing for it, I was like, all right, they're making some moves.
Yeah, they are.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're real big with Indian, yeah?
Yeah, official ambassador for Indian. Doing stuff with Chief and Scout Performance. We're getting ready to build a Super Hooligan Scout. Actually, the bike that Paul's on right now in front of us, we're getting ready to build. Been waiting on parts forever. No names mentioned. But
hurry it up, you know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Indian's a cool brand, man. Like, it's funny. I grew up around Harleys. My dad's friends had Harleys, and I was always around them, but I never had one come into my path. Like I've never gone out to buy a bike. Like bikes just kind of find their way.
Right.
And I find my way to bikes, and I just never found my way to a Harley. And then I got connected with Indian a few years ago through Roland, and it's great, man. They're a bunch of wild dudes that push the envelope and have a good time, and I think they're bringing back like the core of what people want to do, which is just cool shit, fun shit on motorcycles.
Yeah, they introduced like the Scrambler. It looks pretty wild.
Yeah, the 1200, the FTR.
Yep. Yeah,
probably gonna be like the most potent motorcycle on the street, man. Yeah. Like it's insane. Those bikes, even those just set up in hooligan trim. It's insane. There's so much power in that engine.
Yeah.
It's otherworldly.
Yeah, the first time I rode an Indian was that Scout, and I had no kind of, judgments towards it, like getting on it. I just went into it totally blank canvas, Yeah. And as soon as I was riding it, I was like, wow, like this is actually really nice. And it was more peppy and a little bit more nimble than I expected it to be too.
Yeah.
And they're clean looking bikes, man. They've got like some nice design behind them for sure.
They do, and it's really cool, man, because like, so Olaf Stenengard, who was the main guy behind the development of the BMW R9T, he actually just left BMW to go to Indian.
Oh, wow, really?
So like, that's a guy who, lives overseas, extremely cutting edge, like design, was instrumental in all the Concept 90 stuff that Roland did. So now this dude's at Indian, and I cannot wait to see what they do next, because they're already pushing the envelope in so many ways.
Yeah.
And there's stuff coming out. I can't talk about it because I'm under a non-disclosure agreement. But let me tell you, the bikes that Indian is going to be coming out with are going to blow people's minds over the next few years.
Very nice. Yeah, I really gotta get on doing Indian test rides. People love the test rides on the channel because it gives you an insight. I mean, YouTube's the second largest used search engine in the world, Google being number one, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So people use it a lot for research, and what I started doing was test rides on motorcycles and letting people know kind of a structured process of, all right, this is what the controls feel like, this is what the ergonomics feel like, this is what the bike feels like, this is what braking feels like, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And so I did the one Indian test ride, and people are like, yo, do all these other Indians, and I'm like, all right. So I gotta get on my Indian test ride kick.
I'll tell you what, dude. I can help make that happen.
Yeah,
we can get you on every Indian that you want to ride, and we can give all your viewers legitimate, honest feedback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun. We should do it. We'll head up to Sky Power Sports.
Oh yeah.
I'll introduce you to those guys. Yeah, it'd be a good time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man, to go up there and do some test rides for sure.
Yeah, totally. Like, so not to put this in the broadcast because you can cut this stuff out.
Right. I'm totally down.
I'm so glad it rained, dude.
It feels so nice.
Right?
Cooled off so much. So you, I mean, you've obviously made like a cool impact on the industry. People also might know you from AMC's Ride with Reedus.
Oh, yeah.
You got to ride with Norman Reedus, which is pretty badass.
First things first, I have to pick up my friend Jason, who's gonna go on the ride with me.
Yo! Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Bubba? Oh, thanks, dude.
Jason Paul Michaels is a custom bike builder. By the time he was 7 years old, he was already modifying his lawnmower-powered mini bike to increase the air intake.
Daryl from The Walking Dead or Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. How'd that opportunity come about?
Oh, Blockhead just stole his bike!
It goes into EITMS mode, and whenever it does that, it ends up...
yeah, sure it does. Yeah.
That's Harley's fault.
For all of you watching right now, you saw me take off. That was because Blockhead stalled his bike. It happens to the best of us.
It does. I'll own it. I'll own it.
Ride with Norman was a lot of fun, man. You know, a lot of things, I don't know why, but just weird shit happens to me. I was in a bar in Atlanta, and I met Norman. We had some beers, we talked about motorcycles, and then literally 2 days later, I got a call from AMC, and they were like, hey, we're getting ready to launch this new show with Norman, and after meeting you, you know, in the bar and talking, you know, like, Norman would love to do an episode with you.
Hell yeah.
So, you know, we met and hung out, and then I was on the road with him for 5 months while we filmed all of season 1 of Ride. Because I ended up, I was in the pilot episode with him, but then I also did all the background logistics for all the bikes and routes and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great crew. It was hard. I mean, we were in 5 months, we were in 15 states.
Damn.
On the road, driving a Sprinter van, hawking bikes in and out of vans. But it was a lot of fun, man. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. Probably one of the funnest guests that we hung out with on the entire trip was Peter Fonda from Easy Rider.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like, we were down in Key West, and, you know, I mean, Norman and I we can have a good time. Peter Fonda is like 70 plus years old, right? And Norman and I are like, we're exhausted. We're like drunk, tired, wrestling in front of the hotel. And Peter like walks off with some 19-year-old chick. And Norman and I are just like, what the hell, dude? But it's fun, man, it's fun to ride with, you know, celebrities or I hate that word, persons of interest.
Right.
It's fun to ride with persons of interest that actually like are legitimate motorcyclists that really ride. And, you know, Norman totally rides. He can ride whatever. He loves riding anything. Just great people, man. Good times. Can't have in a million years thought that I would ever end up doing it, but it just happened, man. I mean, it's weird.
That's pretty cool that it was so organic, you know, like from just like meeting in a bar.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Talking about motorcycles. That's what I love, you know, about the culture behind it, is that you ride a motorcycle, it doesn't matter what type. I ride a motorcycle, you can immediately like have something to talk about.
Yep.
Anybody and everybody, even this person on the ruckus.
Tell me about your crew. Like, tell me about your tight guys in your crew.
These dudes following behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, when I originally started up the moto vlog, I had a couple guys reach out and they were like, dude, I know these roads, like I live in your area. And
yep.
so, you know, like little by little, I'd hit them up and I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, well, I started just riding on my own. Like, I didn't have any friends that rode motorcycles when I started riding motorcycles.
That's cool.
And so, one of the first people that I met through it was Reese.
Yeah.
And he basically commented on a video. And he's like, yo, I live in this area. Like, hit me up and we'll ride. I'm like, all right. So, you know, I hit him up and we ended up planning out a ride and, you know, went out to Sugarloaf and, you know, it was kind of my introductory into riding with people. Yeah. And then, you know, from there, like, ended up responding to, like, another person that hit me up saying they were local and, you know, started riding with, like, Eric and, you know, a couple other guys. And, like, it just kind of started growing and growing and growing. And somehow it picked up the name Blockhead Crew because it's, like, a solid set, you know, group of guys that we always ride. Yep. And so we just, I mean, it's like the like-minded people that I would have never met some of these dudes, and some of these guys I consider my best friends. Yeah. You know, and it's like I never would have met them unless it was for motorcycles and starting up the channel and messing around on YouTube. Yeah, dude, totally. Like super lucky and privileged, and it's an awesome like side effect of it all. I mean, even sitting here riding with you is a side effect of messing around with a helmet on a camera and motorcycles. Yep. I love it because, you know, obviously everybody's busy, right? You know, but for me, busy in the motorcycle industry means I'm exhausted from motorcycles pretty much all the time. And frankly, the last thing that I want to do on some days is go for a ride. But you, like, pushing me to do this and get out and go for a ride, like, I needed this so bad, bro. You have no idea. Dude. Yes, that's awesome. I needed this. It's therapy, been man. Weeks. It's therapy. Yeah. It's funny because you can work on motorcycles and be in a garage and build them out. But dude, at the end of the day, you got to remember what it's about. Like, it's about this right here, the camaraderie and riding with friends and the freaking wind and getting caught in the rain. And that's what it's about, man. It's like the feeling of being on the road. As cliche as it sounds, I mean, it's therapy, dude. Yeah, dude, definitely therapy and much of need. Dude, I mean, like, there's so much crazy shit going on. I'm in New York again next week. So we told you, like, a little bit about all the video production stuff that we're doing, the live activations. So we just signed a contract with the Emmy Awards. So we'll be going back next week to do that, and then we're in LA. We're looking for, you know, putting together some pretty big partnerships. It's insane, dude. There's like this whole other business that interestingly developed only because of Standard and is ultimately going to end up supporting Standard. Nice. And it's so cool, dude. But it's exhausting, which is what I was getting at. And today, honestly, homie, all I wanted to do was sleep. But, like, you got me out here, and I'm so happy and thankful. I appreciate it, man, for real. No problem, brother. Good shit. Very good. My pleasure. I appreciate you joining us. That should be like we should do a theme song entrance. Just blah 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 blah. So good. Hell yeah, brother. Brother. America. I always forget that this stuff like this is out here. Like, it's nice. Yeah. So where are some places that you want to ride outside of Florida, homie? So we're planning later on in the year. I'm not really sure at about what time, but we want to hit up Tail the Dragon. Yep. I would like to, I don't know, at some point, definitely probably do a cross-country trip. And I know a couple of us are planning on setting aside some vacation time. So, Reed, living on the edge, Reed. Right. Dude, fucking Ural is like smoking and yoking. That motor is so beat, dude. Got that thing, and it wasn't even broken in, and I rode it all the way to North Carolina for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation
They were having a charity ride. We did a giveaway build with them, and I rode it all the way up there and took a bunch of kids, cancer survivor kids, for rides in that thing. And it was